Hey guys, so today I want to show you how to use Livewire's lazy loading, right? So I'm sure if you're familiar with Livewire, you should know about components and using nested components. This is a use case I want to quickly talk about right now. This section of the application is actually a nested component that you can see here, right? You can see there's actually a nested component here, but it is not set to lazy load. So that means on every application refresh, this has to load alongside with the parent component. So imagine exam questions, for example. So you currently have 13 questions. So imagine if you have like 100 questions or 200 questions, right? You don't want to load all of that alongside your main application, which would definitely bog down your application and make it a bit slower. So one way to mitigate this is to use lazy loading. How do we do that exactly? If we look at Livewire's documentation for wire loading, for lazy loading, right? Here you can simply, all you have to do is simply pass the attribute lazy to it, right? So to enable lazy loading, you can pass the lazy parameter to it. That's all you have to do to your nested component to enable lazy loading, right? You can also add placeholders to it. So now let's see how it refreshes without lazy loading. You can see right now that it does not have lazy loading right in it. So let's see how it refreshes. Okay, so I'm going to refresh now. You can see it took about 1 second. I don't know if you can see that. How do I make that bigger? It took about 1 second, right? 1.08 seconds to reload the page, right? So what if we now add lazy loading to it? So I already did that. I'm just going to comment this one out. It's still the same thing, right? And then now I've added my parameter lazy to it, just like it was in the documentation over here. What is it? Over here, right? I've added my lazy loading to it. So it's already refreshing. It's Livewire. So just give it a moment. Okay, you can see that it's fully loaded now, and it took just over 600 milliseconds to load. So that's a huge jump. It's almost half the time. It's almost half the time. So that's one way you can easily improve the speed of your application. It's just a really short video. I just wanted to show you that. So something else you can do on your application is, if you see, right, so you can see here in my application that I added a placeholder. Now what this does is that it shows something there on the application just before the main content of the application is loaded. You can also find that in the very helpful documentation here. It says rendering placeholder HTML. So basically all you have to do is to signal to your users that component is being loaded. You can define a placeholder method. You can read that, right? So this is a placeholder method. So you might want to add a spinner or add whatever you want to add. So you have to use this method name placeholder, so the application knows that this is what should be there before it renders the main component to it, and then you can pass in whatever you want to pass in to that application. On my own application, I just passed the Flux UI. I'm using Flux UI for it. So I passed the Flux UI icon for loading. So what you see here is that whenever I am reloading, let me reload the page. Whenever I'm reloading, you can see that the application have a spinner. You can see the spinner before it comes up, and still the time is still almost half the time, so 600 milliseconds. So I think this is really fantastic to use for your application, or depends on your use case anyways. So I hope you found this video it's really short and interesting. If you want more content like this, please let me know. If you have ideas of how I can make the application even quicker, please shoot down in the comments. I've been Ola, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.